Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here with 60 and Me. Thank you so much for being here today. We've got women all around the world in our community and I want to welcome you all here. It means so much to me to have you as part of this journey. And it certainly has been a journey, hasn't it, for the last 6 months. And I want to talk to you today about a topic that we've kind of circled around. It's kind of been the elephant in the room for many months, and maybe some of you have looked at it and confronted it more than others, but it's just this story about what if. What if something happens to us? What do we need to do to make sure that our wishes are respected and, and followed? But the subtle things. Now, most of you probably have done the normal big things, updated your will, have your power of attorney for living will, whatever is in your country, the legal things you need to take care of. Those are the big things, and that's really important. Putting all your financial documents in one place, downsizing perhaps, just keeping your life a little bit simpler, because ultimately we just don't want our families to have to deal with a lot. There's enough going on now for everybody right now. So I think that's our first concern. Mary Lou Harris is one of our bloggers. She's great. She wrote this article on her personal experience, something that happened to her, and it kind of shone a light on something that we can all do and all help ourselves with. And by the way, if you're interested in this topic or any others related to women 60 and over, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Just press that subscribe button. It's somewhere down there. Just press that and that would support the channel. And also, if you want to be told when the next video is being launched, just press the notification bell and then you'll be told when the next video is posted. But it would really mean a lot to me if you could do that for me. So just press the subscribe button. Thank you. So just to talk about these basic things, Mary Lou says that she found herself, having to go to the hospital, going to the emergency room. She was in very bad situation, and she was in the ambulance and getting to the hospital, thinking, "Oh my gosh, I haven't done this." She just was too ill to really think about it. But on reflection, she had left a lot of things unfinished. And so this article that she wrote is about this, about what she did, when she came home and she got well, fortunately, and was able to start thinking, how could I have made it easier? Take the weight off of the family when they're faced with a situation of losing you, or just finding you're maybe in a capacity that is not the same, where you need help with mobility or whatever. You just know what's going to happen. And that's the thing that's like kind of the scary thing. So what are the essentials? Now, the first thing, of course, is, to think about your personal belongings. And she was really simple about this, and I am too. It's basically, there's only two things. There's a huge big box where I've got everything, all my papers, copies, picture, on external hard drives, numbers, phone numbers, people, and just everything. That's one thing. And the second thing is the box of postcards and pictures that I still have memories. There are family memories. And I think that they would be useful after everything calms down. And if I was to die, that the grieving process would be easier. But those are the only two things. I mean, everything else can be thrown away. Everything. And I want them to know that, everything. And I think my ring, I think I've got a special place for that, and a few other things that are in the box. Everything's written in my will. So not only do I do that, but I also do, as Mary Lou suggests, and have, I've got like a shelf unit with different drawers, and in those I keep the bills and copies of bank statements and just stuff like that. So there's one place that they can go for those, but all that works out in time, doesn't it? But how are you? My computer, I guess, is the other thing. Yes, keep my computer, because on that computer is everything, and the password to it is in the box, and that's another thing. So really, my computer and that box, everything. Anything else can go, and that's what Mary Lou found as well. And I think just knowing that you've done that you've given them that help and that support makes just a whole load of difference. One thing I'll share with you, this is kind of a personal story for me. I'll try not to take too long with it, but it's just basically during, the COVID situation, and as I record this, is still with us. Nothing has changed. It's still as bad as it always has been all around the world. But when I was by myself and feeling like I could get this flu anytime, this virus anytime, and I put together a backpack. And it was my backpack that if I suddenly realized I had the virus. I took my temperature. I knew that I was sick. I would have something to take with me to the hospital. Now, I didn't know that I would need to go to the hospital. It may be something quite, not so serious. But in that box, I had pictures. I had a bar of chocolate. I had some makeup. I had my perfume. It's just little things, small samples, like not big things. And I just felt like if I was alone in the hospital and I couldn't be visited, what were the things in there that I would want to have? I had a book, my T.S. Eliot book, 4 quartets. I had some throat lozenges. I had some supplements that I've been taking, just my medicines. And I had a backpack, and it was just sitting by my bed all the time for months. And fortunately, touch wood, I didn't need it. And and still, we're all taking care. I'm wearing a mask every day that I go out. I'm taking good care of my health, eating well. It could happen any moment, but I don't have that backpack anymore, and I probably should put that together. I just maybe feel like it was a reminder all the time of the virus. But maybe you've done something. So there's the big things to worry about, the will, the boxes, the numbers and all that. But then there's also these personal things. And she tells a story about who should know when you're sick or when you have died. I mean, would your family know who to contact? I mean, yes, of course, family members, but would they know your best friends? Would they know your girlfriends? Would they know the person at the volunteer group that could let everybody know? Would they how would they know? And she tells the story about a friend of hers, she getting a call from her son. And he was saying, just want to let you know that my mom has had a stroke and she's in the hospital and she wanted me to call you. And Mary Lou said, well, how did you get my phone number? And she goes, he says, well, she gave me a list years ago of people that she would want to contact if she was sick or very sick. And he says, I'm calling everybody just like she asked me to. What a gift that you've given that to. And I must admit, I've not done that. I mean, my sons could probably figure out who my best friends were because we talk about them all the time and they're part of my life, but there's other people. I actually went through my Facebook group about 3 years ago, and I, for whatever reason, chose the ones that were always commenting, like my close friends, and the ones I was always commenting on. So I've got that list in my box. So maybe at some point that would be a post to them or whatever. But isn't that interesting, though, that this woman gave her son the names of her friends? And have you done this? And Mary Lou said she was in the hospital. When she was in the hospital with this serious illness that she did not expect, she was sitting there with her phone, typing in the names as she could of people for her son or daughter to call should she die, should she be home with medical help needed. So I thought that was really kind of cool. Who should be on your list? It doesn't have to be a long list. It's probably a very short list. It's maybe 10 people max that you really would prefer they did not hear about your dying or your serious illness on Facebook or on an obituary. And I told you this is going to be a weird topic to talk about, and I hope you stay with me because this is not weird or sad or dramatic. It's just real. It's one of the things that as you get into your 60s and 70s and 80s, it's going to happen. It's just one of those realities of our life. Beautiful that it is. As long as I wake up every day that I'm breathing and, sort of alive on the planet, I'm happy. But there's going to be a time when we're not. So that's something I think that's really, really valuable. Now, Mary Lou recovered, thank goodness. But her experience taught her so many things. And I think that the theme of this article that she wrote, I encourage you to read it, is all about what things you can give to your family, to your sons and daughters, husband or wife, who can actually, things that will make their life easier after all this is over. They're going to have enough to worry about, trying to deal with the emotions and the reality of your situation. But who should they call? Where do they look for things that are important to you? I know in my box, my famous box, it's got a heart on it. There's things in there like little gifts and things that I want everyone to have. And, I've just kind of thought about it. And I've even put some poems in there and things that, even have a folder on my hard drive in my computer that says things to read when I die. And that's actually on my computer, and it has all the things to read. Little letters to people, little reminders of wonderful times we've had. I've just over the years just wrote paragraphs and stories and just put them in that file, along with some poems I've read that just seem to give me strength with the losses that I've had. and thinking that would be cool for them to have as well by their side. So I think it's all good. Now, have you considered personally the incidentals? Not the big things so much, although that's important, your will, your living will, your financial documents and so on. Have you actually thought about the incidentals, the small things, the names, the people, the wishes, the desires? I mean, even to the point of what your funeral should be like. Mine is very simple, no big deal, lots of pictures and conversations and just being together and holding each other. Because, you know, when I'm gone, that will be a big part of lots of lives missing. And I'm conscious of that. But I don't want there to be sadness because my life has been incredible. It's been amazing. And I just honestly have brought into this world two of the most beautiful children. Honestly, that I can say that even if they weren't my children, I would love them so much and respect and admire them. And the children, the grandchildren that are there now and the ones to come, they are just so special. And, you know, I think I've told them that a million times and they know, so I don't need to remind them. And of course, the community. It would be so important to me that the community would know. But again, that's something I've shared with my son, and hopefully it will be many, many moons before that happens. But just let you know what you think about it, what your plans are, what you have got in your mind. So let's have a chat about this. It's a tough conversation, I know, but let's do it and share with each other our strengths and our weaknesses, our humanity. And I look forward to hearing them and reading them and staying close as we move through this journey step by step, walking each other home. Take very good care, everybody. Bye-bye for now.